then come again. You never stay in place. You take off with the dawn. By night I see your face. And yet, and yet, and yet, and yet, and yet, and yet, you don't feel at ease in shoes that pinch and bite. But you pretend with ease when your reflection's in sight. And yet, 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 if everything must be redone. And yet, and yet, and yet, if we must turn back and run. And yet, and yet, and yet, if our two lives come undone. And yet, and yet, and yet, and yet, and yet, and yet, I love you. I am here, yet I flee from your cold indifference. But by night, secretly, you still take the chance. And yet, and yet, and yet, and yet, and yet, and yet, we barely even glance, yet we still take the chance. Our fights are all in vain, but still we both remain. And yet, 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 if everything must be redone. And yet, and yet, and yet, if we must turn back and run. And yet, and yet, and yet, if our two lives come undone. And yet,